Today we're going to use a special paper called Contrasto paper to make a black and white design. This paper is white on one side, black on the other. You use an X-Acto knife to cut away shapes and peel away to see the black. So I'm going to show you a few X-Acto tips for safety before we start. So your knife is going to come with a sharp blade inside of a cap. You can twist, remove the blade, and put it back very carefully. Sometimes your blade will fall out, and if that happens, you just have to tighten it just like that. The bottom is super sharp, so be really careful. You can really hurt yourself. Always put the cap on when your knife is not in use. The Contrasto paper is glossy and black on the back and matte and white on the front. You cut the white part. You use a mat board and under so you don't cut your table. If you don't have a mat board, cardboard is fine. Be really careful where you're putting your hands. It should never be below where your knife is cutting. Your hand should be far away from the blade. So you have to press a little hard and then use the tip of the blade of the X-Acto knife to lift it up and then just peel it away. It's so much fun. And then I like to turn my paper over and save it. You can see this was an old piece from before. Because you can use this for a little while it's still a little sticky. You can go back in and maybe cut away a smaller shape really carefully. Lift it with your knife. Sometimes it's kind of sticky, so use your fingers, whatever works best. It's a little bit like paper surgery. And then you can place that shape back inside your main shape. It's really good for tiny details to make it look much more interesting than just giant fat shapes. Now, trying to do a circle with a straight blade is not easy. It ends up coming out kind of jagged, like it looks like more of a hexagon than a circle. I don't really like it, so I try to avoid it so I don't get those rough edges. You want to be nice and neat. However, this is a hack from last semester. A student said, why don't we try the circle rulers? And it actually didn't work too badly. So you can cut inside of a plastic template very carefully. Turn your paper around so your hand is never where your blade is heading. And then again, lift very carefully. So that's much nicer, much smoother edge than before. The blade is really great for tiny details. Now you'll notice I'm holding down the first piece because sometimes it all wants to come up. So you might have to use your finger to hold down the piece you want to stay and then use your knife to lift the part that you want to take away. Like here, everything was trying to come up. So you hold it with your finger because it's sticky on the back. And then slowly peel that away. Oh, so much fun. And this is beautiful. Look at the contrast of the big black shape with the skinny little shapes. Curvy is also fine. The blade can go with a nice kind of a wave or a curve shape quite easily. So straight and curvy is great. Perfect circles are a little bit more difficult. If you happen to cut so hard you go through, it's okay. Just flip it and add a little bit of Scotch tape to the back and nobody will even notice. You can't even tell on the other side. Okay? Put your cap back on when you're not using your blade and that's it. Now because you can't draw on Contrasto paper, it's really a good idea to kind of have an idea before. So we're going to draw on Procreate, a black and white design. This is a student from last semester. You can see they've added some pieces back in. The big idea is try to balance your black and white space. Like you want to have 50-50 black, 50-50 white. And you also want to have a good contrast of tiny little areas and big dark, and more full areas. Okay? So have fun, and we will do this in class today.